Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about practice number 5, episode number 4. Clearly, we thought about how that title would work with our episode count because that's not confusing at all. Joining me are Chris Billings and his wonderful daughter there, Gwen Stacy. Look at that. Look at it. Look at her.
Mom had to do adult things. Dad had to step in.
As well as responsible collared shirt, businessman, Florida man, Nick Kerr, getting better and getting careful with how you say your name.
I know you're leaving enough of a pause, so you're good, Tony.
we gotta leave that pause. We have just seen Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Warriors took a 3-2 lead, and we will go ahead and get started with some of the scorching takes that Chris Billings had. Are you ready to give it NBA Finals MVP to Andrew Wiggins?
Yes. Actually, I am. Give it to him or Jordan Poole.
System player Jordan Poole's getting that NBA Finals MVP.
It's a system rite of passage there in Golden State, so might as well.
All right. All in all, Chris Billings was really, really hot on that Steph Curry guy having a Steph Curry superstar performance. I will let him comment on what we've seen from Steph Curry so far in this finals.
Like Steph's kind of just carried the Warriors, to be perfectly honest. Like Draymond's a no-show. Like Clay's like hot and cold at times. So it's been like Andrew Wiggins. It's been Jordan Poole. So yeah, like I have to give a lot of credit to Steph Curry, to be honest, and he is just like worn that Boston team out. Like they're so worn out from playing defense that by the time they get late into a game, like they can't produce any offense because they're just gassed.
Nick, what are your thoughts on the Curry man and the Warriors in this series?
I mean, I agree with what Chris just said. Steph's been Steph. The Celtics team, like the 2 games they won, they did have a few players step up but for the most part, it's been Brown and Tatum. And on defense, yeah, they're just tired from all this shooting. And I mean, I really believe the key to why the Warriors are winning the series right now is that they've won 11 quarters, and Boston's only won 9.
Touche. Touche with the
Shit.
quarter count. Touche. I like it. I thought about asking it, but I didn't want to go look up the quarter count. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's the key to the series right now, winning quarters.
Boston can't produce any offense is what I think it comes down to. Like they're so focused on shutting down Steph that they have no other options when it comes to offense.
They just lost back-to-back games for the first time since January. They're going back to Boston for this game 6.
So I know we're ripping off other shows' gimmicks and whatnot, but like Jason Tatum, is he out of the club? Is he out of the superstar club? And is he back in line waiting outside? Like, what's going on here?
No other show has their child on. Come on.
Yeah, that's right. They're much more professional than us.
I don't know. I've seen that Nick Wright guy. Come on. He's got his own family producing content. But that's neither here nor there. Jason Tatum, I was trying to get him out of that superstar club last episode and tell you guys about this Jimmy Butler guy.
I agree with that. I honestly think that the Heat, I mean, they didn't really show much as far as other scoring against the Celtics, but I have to believe that against this Warrior team, they would have shown a little more because they had that same style of offense where pull-up threes, but we'll never see.
All right. I got your hot take right here. This series should be fucking over. if it wasn't for Al Horford getting hot in the fourth quarter, this series would have been done. And they like the Boston Celtics don't even belong on the same floor. Like, they're cooked. This series is over. I would be very surprised if the Warriors don't win this game 6. Like you said, they suck in close games. They get like so tight. They force all these shots. They get all these turnovers. And I'm like, Jason Tatum, I swear to God, if that man just does that step to the left 3-point shot again, like, I could block that shot by now. Like, how does he not have more moves than this? And then Jaylen Brown, like, he still doesn't know how to dribble. And like Marcus Smart, like they don't have that point guard to get them all into that offense and get them cutting it. You watch the Warriors, like Steph couldn't hit the backside of a barn yesterday, and they still have motion in their offense. Guys are cutting. Finals MVP, courtesy Billings, Andrew Wiggins is just dunking all over players and just like getting rebounds. Draymond played bad in that game 1. They had a hot fourth quarter. They haven't scored a 40-point quarter since that happened. So I think the Celtics are broken. They're cooked. It's over. Warriors are going to go into game 6 in Boston, and they're going to take care of business.
So you're saying their offense could use a CP3 is what I'm hearing.
A CP. I honestly don't know, man. I honestly don't know how to fix that Boston team. I think it might just be like this Warriors team just is too deep. Brian Windhorst had that take.
The Warriors team isn't
not
that
a
deep,
CP3,
to be
but
honest.
maybe a Westbrook.
Westbrook. Did you see the Brian Windhorst take that you have to compete with the Warriors pocketbooks because of their salary cap and the luxury tax they pay?
Come on, give me a break there. Like, that's just like, you don't think the Lakers aren't competing with that? You don't think the Clippers are competing that? That's 2 teams within their own state.
Yeah.
Like, so give me a break on that. And like, it comes down to other factors as well. It comes down to health and other things, which the Warriors have not benefited from the last few years. So, and like, honestly, like, signs pointed to them this year not being the team that that we're seeing in the finals. But yeah, like Boston, they're cooked. I want to disagree with Tony that this series should have been done a while ago, but it should have. Like, all signs pointed to Boston winning that game last night, and they just shit the bed. Like, they were making shots. The Warriors weren't making shots. And then just
Jordan pulled 3 at the end of the third.
Yeah.
That was brutal. Yeah, that was a brutal one.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I don't know what like from that game 4 in Boston, like literally no one else is making anything but Steph Curry. They couldn't figure out a way to like stop him, and then they stopped playing offense for like 5 straight minutes in that fourth quarter, and then Curry kept making threes, and it was game over.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw a stat earlier today about on Boston's defense in the playoffs, like the percentage of like close and then field goal percentage. I think Jimmy Butler was at like 51%. Giannis was at like 40 something, and Kevin Durant was at like 30 or 40 something. Steph Curry was at 85%. That's just ridiculous.
I think Nick's probably referring to like effective field goal percentage.
Yeah, I forget what the exact stat was, but it was against the Boston defense in the playoffs. And it's just Steph being Steph. Can you imagine if Clay didn't get hurt? How many straight finals would they be in?
I will admit, in this social media age where we just default to recency bias, like I think we all kind of forgot like how good Steph is or was. And guys, like that's the reason why they are crowning him as the best shooter in the league before, Kevin Durant kind of sauntered into town. Like it was real, and we're seeing that right now.
It's still real. It's so confusing. It's like so difficult to quantify, and the way we talk about it and the way you don't want to give Steph that finals MVP, despite him putting Deladova in a hospital when he tried to guard him in the NBA finals. And it's just like, because you watch Steph Curry play and he seems so much more relatable and so much more like average man, like, oh, I can make that 3-pointer. And then you watch players like Kevin Durant and LeBron James who are aliens along with Giannis, and you're like, Yeah, there's nothing I can do that those guys could do. That is not relatable at all. Like those are the basketball gods, Joel Embiid, those giants that can do this, Nikola Jokic. But like Steph Curry's like one of the smaller dudes in the league, seems like a more like relatable player. I can make those passes. I can make those shots. Reality, no, you can't. You can't make any of those shots. Come on now.
Yeah.
Those shots, they're like the release is like half a second, and they're like 35 feet away over a guy that's like 6'10".
Yeah.
One of one. No one else is making those
And
shots.
even double teaming them just doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
There's no strategy. They double team him. Then like Draymond Green's played a lot better. And like I was talking about with Al Horford, he has not played well at all. They figured out that if Al Horford's out there, he is a weak link. They drag him out to the perimeter. And then they do the same thing with Rob Williams. That guy is great. Rob Williams is great. But once you take him out of the paint, he is just an average guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We'll move forward from some of this Warriors Celtics talk to some of this Miami Heat offseason talk that I've been badgering Nick with.
Yes.
Who do you want on this team? Who do you want on this team to change up your roster?
I mean, I think it depends. It's down to 3 people, I would say. And I have no idea if any of these are even realistic. But if they were going to go after someone big, it'd have to be either Embiid, Bradley Beal, or Donovan Mitchell. I believe that if they can somehow package some way for Embiid, it'd have to be at least 3 players that would equal salary-wise, plus picks.
So the priority list for you is Embiid number 1. Who do you want number 2?
Number 2, I'd go with Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Because, as I've said on a previous episode, I believe that Dwayne Wade is a minority owner of the Utah Jazz to facilitate a trade, but we'll see.
But there's also Danny Ainge in that equation as well.
That's true.
Secret agent codename Flash. Please send Donovan Mitchell to the Miami Heat. I see what's going on there.
Yes. And number 3 would be Bradley Beal, because I feel that he fits that mold of what the Heat expect Tyler Hero to become. And him already being able to put up 30 points a game and seamlessly ease. I mean, I think that would be a great fit sitting next to Jimmy and Bam.
Fair enough. I was doing some research here, and I do have a question.
Yes.
Do you think there's too much bad blood between Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns for the Heat to acquire Cat from the Timberwolves? Because I don't think the Timberwolves are going to give Cat a supermax contract, and he thinks that he's that guy, and I think the Timberwolves are like, Anthony Edwards is that guy. You're not that guy. We're paying him. We're not paying you.
I believe Jimmy and Pat have already had this discussion. So if you do see them pursue something for Karl Anthony Towns, it would have had Jimmy's approval.
All right. What about DeAndre Ayton? Because I know the Suns aren't going to pay him.
I mean, I'd take him, depending on what we'd have to give up.
So you just want to keep Jimmy and Bam pretty much.
Yeah, because we can't sign anyone without giving our contracts are beyond the luxury tax and that. So anything we're doing in free agency, we got to trade some away. So we got to trade away some of these big contracts in order to sign some more players.
Billings, what are your thoughts on these free agent big men and these additions to the Heat that Nick is trying to add here?
Don't think they're gonna get Embiid or Donovan Mitchell. Like
I don't think so either, but
gotta recalibrate those expectations. But there's definitely there's some moves to be had by the Heat, I think, this offseason that they're just a piece away.
What's that piece?
They gotta get someone to facilitate the ball.
So you're trading Chris Paul to the Heat? Your favorite player.
I mean, the problem is just Chris Paul is just too high priced. He's overvalued, to be honest. And like that's ultimately like the thing I probably have the most beef with Chris Paul is like if he just like played to his value a little bit, he'd probably have a championship, but he thinks he is like a top 3 player.
If
I
Chris
mean,
Paul
Chris Paul isn't
played to his
much
value, he
higher
would
of
have
a
a championship.
yeah.
Well,
And
Yeah.
I don't see it that much of an upgrade from Kyle Lowry. I mean, it's slightly higher upgrade in player, along with probably about 10 to 15 more in salary.
how did Kyle Lowry pass those conditioning tests? See, Mike Ryan, I
But
still want to
no,
know.
but that's what I'm saying, because Kyle Lowry disappeared in the playoffs. He was injured, so that's what you're getting with Chris Paul in the playoffs.
Ooh, okay. What about Malcolm Brogdon? You mean something like more gettable, something more like that, or like a Gordon Hayward?
I mean, really, like the person that the Heat could pick up is Damian Lillard, but he just doesn't fit what you guys have. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Dame Lillard. Nick, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think he could fit alongside Jimmy, because in a deal for Dame Lillard, we're probably going to have to give up Tyler Hero and Bam, because plus picks. So then we'd have to go out and find some more bigs. So I don't see that happening.
Really? Seems like you might be able to find a big easier in this market, in this league.
Depending on what they can do with that salary cap, depending on how much they can give up going out, because giving up Tyler Hero, he hasn't been paid yet.
True.
His contract's still out there. So
True.
you have to put him plus some big contracts. So it depends on what you have to give up and what you can put around that. Maybe you can work out a three-team trade, pick up a big somewhere else.
Sure, we could give you Michael Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray
There
at
he
a
is.
discount.
There he is. Look at his saltiness. He sees it. He's got the jersey on, everyone. The Avs are in the cup. The discontentment in Denver is rising because Murray and Porter played like 12 games combined in the last 2 years. So
Yeah, like at least
lonely.
like I feel like you got more out of Kyle Lowry than I got out of those two. That's for sure.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe
You
it's a
wanna see
three-team
him,
trade with the Jazz, but not for Mitchell. Maybe they send Gobert this way. Gobert and Lillard.
Gosh.
Put that with Jimmy.
Do people not fucking watch basketball? Rudy Gobert is worthless. He cannot play in the playoffs. I don't give a shit about what he does in the regular season. He might as well be Udonis Haslem on my team in the playoffs. He cannot play in the playoffs. Teams just go small and they run him off the court. No, done with this Rudy Gobert guy. There's no point to him. There's no point to him in this league. Like, that's not what's winning in this league. Like, it's all about these like 6'5" to 6'9" athletic wings that can play defense on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, why are you trying to get rid of all these players, Billings? Why don't you just want to see your Nuggets play?
I've been waiting to watch them all play for a couple years now. That's my problem. Is like, yeah, it just like when it comes down to it, just some of the vibes that Jamal Murray threw out there late in the season, like almost like he was coming back or whatnot. Like clearly you weren't coming back. You should have announced that. You should have told the Nuggets so they could announce that, and then everybody would have just put it out of their brain. They probably would have been a lot more accepting of that series loss. But no, it's like he kind of just kept teasing us, and same with Michael Porter Jr. And this goes to Nuggets management as well, is like they probably should have stepped in and just been like, no, you guys aren't coming in. Like, you guys are done, and we're going to announce it. And we're going to put it out of everyone's brain. But like, they just kept it going till the bitter end, even with Golden State, of like, oh, like maybe like one of these guys is going to play in like game 5 or something. Like, no.
Got some bad vibes going on there from Nuggets management to the city. Some bad vibes there for sure. Lead me to my question. Are either of these teams going to be in the NBA Finals next season?
The Heat, the Nuggets.
No, the Celtics or the Warriors.
Oh.
This guy.
I think the Warriors have a better chance than the Celtics.
Yeah.
But I think someone else will find a way to knock off. Because if you get a fully healthy Nuggets team, I think go pretty far in the playoffs.
Why are you so quick to agree with him on the Warriors being there over the Celtics, Billings?
Because they're a good team, and like they're just like they have to steal from the Heat. They have a culture over there that like clearly is working. Like the biggest thing that was the deterrent for them like wasn't Kevin Durant leaving, like it was injuries. That's the thing that's been holding them back. And so when they're healthy, like they're a hell of a team to compete with.
I mean, it's not only just that they're so good, it's just the Celtics have to compete with all these other teams in the East. And I think, yeah, they were able to go through the Nets, the Bucks, the Heat this year, but is that sustainable and be able to do that every year? A gauntlet like that.
I still kind of think the Celtics are a bit of a fluke, but we'll see next season.
A bit of a fluke. This man has gone a complete 180 from comparing them to the Spurs dynasty with death by a million cuts. Give it Ime Udoka all the credit, and now he wants to give them all the shade for failing to adjust.
I've learned something. And today's basketball defense doesn't win championships. So, yeah.
He's learned something. I'm sorry, Draymond Green. The fact that you're playing your ass off, shutting down those Celtics players defensively, Chris Billings doesn't see any of that. Doesn't see that. Andrew Wiggins.
I think you're giving Draymond a lot more credit than he deserves, but
why are we giving him more credit than he deserves, Billy?
He's sucked out there. He's pooped the bed.
Nick, please expand upon this. I don't know if I agree.
I cannot expand upon that.
Okay.
Guess you guys aren't watching the same games as me.
But why are you saying he's pooped the bed? Because he's fouled out twice?
Yeah, twice. Can't score with fucking.
I mean that's just Draymond being Draymond though. On any given night, he's gonna be out there pulling someone's pants down, saying something. It doesn't. He most times he'll probably have more fouls than he has the rest of the stats that are tracked. But you never know. You never know what Draymond you're gonna get. But I mean, I don't think it's that he shit the bed.
I know what Draymond I'm gonna get. I know.
Are you a subscriber to his podcast? And so that's why you know what Draymond you're gonna get? Like,
God no. God no. First off, not supporting Draymond Green. Second off, definitely not supporting Colin Cowherd. So fuck out of here with that.
Oh my gosh.
Saying Draymond Green potentially washed. Just asking questions.
Is Jordan Poole still a system player?
I'm just asking questions. That's all, man. I'm just throwing it out there to the audience. See what happens. I'm just a guy out here asking.
All right.
Nobody else asking those kind of questions.
Okay. To close this, do we have any type of predictions for any offseason moves? Any this league, any wild trades, anything that you think is going to happen?
Pat Riley's getting old. He's going to do something. I don't know what it's going to be, but there's going to be something big.
Did you beat him in a push-up contest?
The only off-season story pretty much left relating to Pat Riley is when he dies. I'm sorry, Nick, but like,
wow.
No, it's gonna be like where like Embiid, Durant, Kyrie Irving, Simmons, like where do these guys end up potentially?
Do you think they break the Nets up? Do you think Durant's like, get the fuck out of here, Kyrie?
It could happen where either Durant's just like, get me out of here, I'm done, and they trade him off to some other team. Same thing with Kyrie. Like, hell, Kyrie could fucking retire for all I know. And like be like, I'm moving away to like Zimbabwe. Like, I don't know with that guy.
I like that Billings is putting Kevin Durant in a therapy session, and if the Warriors win this title, so what's that going to be like for him? Is he just going to be like in some type
You
of?
know he's gonna get nothing but smoke on social media, and that guy, his ears are perked way up when it comes to Twitter. And yeah, so it's probably gonna just like this whole offseason and playoffs are just gonna agitate him. Like he's gonna come back just fucking pissed.
Speaking of pissed and speaking of perk, I haven't seen Kendrick Perkins in any more outfits on First Take after that game one shenanigans when he came out with the handcuffs and that shit. What happened? What happened to him? What happened to him? But that's neither here nor there, because all you guys need to know, as Nick Kerr has said many times, as well as Pat Riley, fuck Boston.
Yes.
Fuck Boston.
Fuck Boston.
All right, tell us what you're looking forward to over here for the Stanley Cup, Billings. I'm going to give you a couple minutes of hockey talk.
I'm looking forward to my Colorado Avalanche taking down America's team, Tampa Bay Lightning, ending the dynasty. I'm gonna say this: Avs in 6.
Nick, as someone who's faced this America's team, what are your thoughts?
I'll say Avs in 6. I'll go with Chris. I stopped watching.
You and most of America, my friend.
Let me tell you, Nick, you made the right decision, because as soon as I started watching, I started betting against the Lightning. And let me fucking tell you, Jesus Christ, that is a team that is blessed by the hockey gods. Those deflection goals, the last 2 games, enraged me. And I'm not even like a Rangers fan. And I was just like, this is just some serious bullshit that they're getting these goals constantly. Good luck to your Avs, man.
Tampa
Good
Bay
luck.
wins 3 straight. I will be salty.
I have no idea. I gotta look into it. I'll see what's going on. I don't know who I'm gonna pick. I'm terrible at hockey, so I'll see who I'm gonna jinx. Like I said. Other than that, I'll throw down some promotions. I'm exploring the TikTok avenues. It is a brain cancer. If you guys want to follow me there, you can check it out at Tony Parlay. I'm also on the Twitterverse. Give us a follow. We're also SportsBudz. Like, comment, follow, do your thing. I never point the right way. Chris
No.
over here, Nick Kerr over here. I'll throw it to Nick Kerr here first. What do you want to promote, Nick? Where you're at?
Yeah, you can follow me. I post random shit about Miami sports, talking shit. At it's Kerr not care. Care with a K, K-A-R-E.
At 2
Over to Chris, wherever he is.
wherever Chris is. What do you got?
You can find me at Sports Desk BS if you're looking for sports takes. If you want to follow me for movies and television shows, check me out at Billings Space on any of the platforms. But yeah, love me some movies. Probably have some reviews for like Top Gun Maverick coming out, Jurassic Park, things like that. Bought my Thor Love and Thunder tickets. So yeah, check me out.
There we go, y'all. Check us out on all of our platforms. Let us know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Share with us some of your hot takes. Other than that, I am Tony Reyes, Tony Parlay. That's Chris Billings over there. That's Nick Kerr down there. Thank you for watching, everyone, and you guys have yourself a wonderful evening. Well.